Forward. Fly to it. Delicious. Call me vengeance. The time has come. Yes. I fly. If I must.
All's well. On my rounds. With vim and vigor. Clack your bones. Here I come. Forward. Yes. Wither away. Yes, indeed. Abutala Mashuneba.
All pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 30 seconds to battle.
On my way. I'm way ahead. On it. Now I have a knife and a bow. Not yet. Not yet. A windy scepter. Of course. As the arrow flies. It's not time yet. I'm not ready. A gust onward. I'm not ready. On it. It's not time yet. I go. I'm not ready. It's not time yet. Already moving. Already moving. On it. On my way. As the arrow flies. I'm way ahead. I gust onward. On it. my way. I gust onward. Here, have an arrow. Already moving. It's not time yet. Of course. I'm not ready. On it. Already moving. I go. Of course. I'm a straight shooter.
30 seconds to battle.
Try this on for size. I gust onward. On it. Blink dagger. As the arrow flies. On my way. Not yet. It's not time yet. I'm way ahead. Already moving. A windy scepter. On it. As the arrow flies. I go. I'm way ahead. I gust onward. Of course. On my way. I'm way ahead. On my way. I go. The arrow flies. Of course. I gust onward. On it. On it. Already moving. On it. I go. On it. Of course. On my way. Not yet. As the arrow flies.
Spirit's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Game and Gladiators turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Game and Gladiators turn to ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Saving allies with Snowball, do you think that's maybe a little bit on the risky side, or?
I think he wants to kill the Silencer.
Yeah.
I think this is a hero that can just like get on him and kill him right away. It's going to be more of an aggressive tough team instead of a defensive one.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to double jump with Puck. That's where we're going to be their target number 1.
All right. Thank you guys very much for your insights. We are ready to get into the game, but before that, we're going to a coach's interview with Silent from Team Spirit.
Prepare for battle.
Arranca partido.
Тише, мальчик. Тише, мальчик.
"30 seconds to battle.
That's right, it's time to make our grand finals head underway. On one side, we have a team that is absolutely the best team of the year, but on the other side, the strongest team of the tournament. On one side, we have 3-time major winners, and on the other side, TI winners, but only one can claim the Aegis.
The battle
I've seen a lot of TIs, Cap. We are going back 12 editions of this right now. We have seen lower bracket runs, we've seen upper bracket runs, we have seen First Bloods, we have seen Roshans, but one thing is absolutely clear to me right now at TI 12, in the heart of Dota in Seattle, these two teams are undoubtedly the best two teams in the world right now, and both of them are absolutely terrifying.
And that's exactly why Game and Gladiators stacked the bounty runes, but they failed to be able to claim the first blood. They wanted to be able to get that early momentum over a team that is so scary. I mean, Team Spirit have demolished every team that has stood in their way. Game and Gladiators, though, have had to make the long run through the lower bracket, and there's something special about that lower bracket momentum.
You cannot underestimate how much this team has gone through, especially going to their 4th Valve event grand final of the year. No team has made a complete sweep, and usually the team that is favored in that sense can't even make that type of run, so this team cannot be underestimated. At the same time, all of us here watching, when you see a Toro come out of that player walkway with a shaved head, the amount of fear that instills into you, the amount this man is willing to sacrifice to claim a second Aegis and join that limited pantheon of 2-time TI winners, you can't not help but be a little afraid of what he's willing to do here. In a best of 5, both these teams are capable of anything. The greatest question, however, if you've watched this lower bracket run from Gaming, is can Team Spirit put a stop to the speed and the tempo in which they are playing these games? Because right now, nobody across all of those series has been able to do it. Now, a lot of these games have not gone past the 25-minute mark, so you need to slow it down, you need to play your game, or at least take it back to them. And if there is one team in the world that can accomplish that, it is Team Spirit, who have shown that they are no slouches when it comes to the first 10 minutes, particularly the laning phase.
Yes, this laning phase is going to be the ultimate test for this best of 5. It's going to be a long journey to get through this finals, and who walks away winning this laning phase could just end up winning the entire thing, as Maposhka will end up going down. Tofu finally claims first blood for Gaming Gladiator.
And this is a familiar story. Acceleration for Ace on the off-lane Lone Druid. This is a hero that has demolished the lower bracket along with all the buildings in those series. A scary hero to give a lead off to here, especially when once more Gaming have a lot of tempo that can just go with Ace, go through these objectives, play with that Bear's timings. But I like what Spirit have brought out here in game 1, right? These are a lot of heroes that are not afraid to skirmish early and
Toro
straight back
to
to
the death against Tofu. Will end up helping to get the kill onto Tofu, but will end up falling into the end. And Ace is gladly going to be able to dive a bit more onto Maposhka. They are definitely winning this lane. They're walking away with it a bit.
And that's going to be fast over corrosion for the Bear. That's going to give him a lot of chase down potential in this lane.
He's still going to find it. Maposhka, oh, he has that extra little bit of heal. They end up dying the Bear. That's going to be 300 gold over to Yatoro, but Ace can keep up that pressure with a fresh resummon.
Big turnaround for Yatoro, honestly. This lane was looking a little grim if you get Ace to that fast over corrosion, which has just taken over a lot of these lanes. All of a sudden, you get a Bear kill back. A lot of golden XP for Yatoro. He can start to regain momentum in this lane. This is a very strong lane for Team Spirit. Tree Weaver. There's not much that beats this, so this just shows how strong this off lane is for gaming as well. They're
it would be such a massive win if they could actually bring down Ace, but Yatoro's going to have to try and go for Tofu instead, who gave up his own life to be able to kill the bug on Ace to protect his core. He does die, but if Yatoro gets caught by an entangle here, it's going to be a heavy punish, but not afraid, turns around, battles back against that Bear, knowing Ace still has some time before he has another resummon available.
Still a lot of gold going to Yatoro here as he takes a net worth lead. Good sign for Team Spirit is, I mean, Weaver has to be one of the fastest carries in this meta. I think CK is the other one that I had point to. Of course, Bristleback, he's a pseudo carry getting banned out. This is a hero that Team Spirit first picked for a reason. If they get him to a good position, he can go and defend all these towers. You can take every single fight with this carry hero, try and match Duracio's pace, where I almost feel like it doesn't matter what hero Duracio is playing. This guy is going to run at you. He's going to join all the skirmishes with Quinn. You have to be ready for the 5-man collapse at a certain point. Either get some trades, be ready to defend them at the towers. This Beastmaster can trade on the map. That's another objective that Team Spirit can look for as this game progresses.
I feel like out of all the players on Gaming Gladiators, it's definitely Duracio.
That's a resummon.
Yeah, it is. Ace, he'll lose yet another Bear, and Yatoro's just climbing up the network chart now. A laning phase that started off a bit bad for them, but now they've got a full 20-second window with no Bear, so they should easily be able to get most of the CS. And also, the bounty. Man, he is sitting at 3K net worth already, way ahead of anybody else in this game.
It adds up real fast. These Bears are worth a lot. It's also extra damage going into Ace. You're not healing while the Bear's on cooldown. There's a lot going wrong in this offlane for gaming right now for the hero that's supposed to give them that lead, at least comparatively to those other games, right? This is still a very even game, but if you watched any of these series yesterday, particularly the Azure one, I guess if you're not down 5K at the 5-minute mark, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, seriously, you cannot let Gaming Gladiators run away with the laning phase. And that, when we were talking about it backstage, and so many other people that we talked to backstage, everybody was saying, Team Spirit is not going to get run over the laning phase. They won't let that happen. You can make these kind of rotations, pick up on the snowball. They have 3 heroes all bang onto the Jarcopter, but it's not quite good enough. Tofu protecting them nicely. They'll get some damage in return, but Team Spirit going to remain relatively healthy.
Nice missile dodge on the snowball. Mira, he's going to be able to make some really nice plays this game. This Tusk is a hero that can not only give him the physical burst to go through the Bear at the later stages, but the snowball dodge on heroes like Gyro and Pango that have to throw out their spells at the start of a fight. It can get you your core BKBs off. It can stall out the fight, get you a roar off of, collapse coming back out of it. Something that could be really instrumental as this game progresses here. And once more, Spirit making the first moves here. Pochka's been really active in this laning phase, trying to skew it as much as possible to Team Spirit's advantage. Give them that breathing room. And of course, this is a Dream Protector lineup. We're talking about these objectives. Something gaming's focused on. You can keep your towers up. Living armor.
The double slows are going to help here. And Quinn's going to come back into this play. Sees an opportunity, but no one will. The 2 supports are already dead, though. And there's no way for this puck to change the matchup now.
+2 int on the board for Celery. Glaze already getting some extra work done. We'll leave solo lanes on these sides, so Yatoro going to try and make the most of it. He gets rooted. Ooh. Oh, he wanted another Bear kill on this lane, man. He has been taking it to Ace. Level advantage already going Yatoro's way. It looks like it'll just be the Dragon Lance, so defensive-oriented build here. Yatoro, get the high HP up. Don't get bursted in this game. Man, he is just chunking Ace down. This is a roam opportunity up here, right? Like, this is a great hero for Team Spirit to roam on. You can keep shipping Ace's HP pool, because every time you kill this Bear, he has to resummon. He's susceptible again, and you don't really take the ult too early.
Laurel, he's going to try and bait it out here by using the Illusion Rune. The first power rune was an Illusion Rune. Not necessarily one that you feel the best about, but he's going to try and bait it out by showing his Illusion mid and seeing if they can catch something in this top lane. Tofu, he's going to be marked there. Couldn't get there in time to snag away the Wisdom Rune, but they can get this 1 kill. Ace is around. Laurel, he'll back away. So will Ace. He's ready for the push that's coming in. In fact, he knows he's kind of surrounded by heroes, so he wants to play defensively. But Laurel already back to the mid lane, doesn't want to miss out on too much of his CS.
Nice heads up smoke by Spirit. They are a team that will happily smoke to any of these Wisdom runes, and if you study them, you know it's coming. The 7, the 14, the 21 especially is one of their big power moves.
Is under attack.
They really want this XP advantage, and again, rotating to Ace's lane, I think is a recipe for success. The other move you're going to make is to collapse when that helm is up to try and push the tower or kick Dyrachyo out of the lane. But I feel like every time you make one of these aggressive moves on Gaimin in the early game, you're pretty happy with it, right? Because it means they're not going to Ace, they're not pushing your tower, and then things like this can start to happen where another kill for Yatoro. He is absolutely out of control.
Oh, and their carry's going to be in trouble as well. Both cores in big trouble here on the side of Gaming Gladiators, and no TP rotations coming in. So they're just going to run down Dyrachyo. Do they dive the tower, though? It's a bit scary, and they've run out of resources. So Dyrachyo lives, but only on the sliver of HP, and it's not doing him much good either. He's going to have to make a run back to the fountain, very likely.
You can see the side lane pressure here. This is another thing that's causing Gaimin some issues right now because they want to rotate towards mid, play around Quinn. So every time you bring supports off the side lanes, it's up to Spirit to recreate the pressure there and not let Quinn get away with these skirmishes with the power runes. However, Gaming rotating supports mid will secure that power rune for Quinn. Now it's a question of what he can do with it here. Can you rotate into Yatoro's lane? Is Weaver killable in the very early game? Calling plus some roots, it's doable. They're just going to bring everybody up here. Try and go on Ace again. This is when the lone druid is susceptible.
Perfect opportunity with the bear now being put on cooldown. They have done serious damage to Ace, killing him so many times, and even maybe catching Tofu here. Selly's going to try and slow him down, but that's two supports without a real stun. They're just going to back away, though. Bottom lane, that was the rotation coming out from Quinn. Mira left a bit alone here as the Beastmaster went for the Lotus instead. Good separation there with Shard, and Quinn doesn't feel like diving too deep.
This is the helm coming out finished for collapse. So now you have a second pressure point on the map with your team Spirit. You've gone through this early game in a pretty decent spot. Yatoro well ahead of the pack. So if he wants to rotate, play with collapse, start pushing some of these towers, you can start to take Gaming's game plan against them here. As they are still struggling to keep Ace in that offlane. This bear has just been exploited in the early game. So much extra golden XP.
Gets back to the safety of the trees. Gaming Gladiators here in force, but fortunately the Pango versus the Beastmaster doesn't necessarily leave you the most options. Can't really put to use that Rolling Thunder super well. He's going to try for it anyway, perhaps. Going to force out the Primal Roar. Collapse now going to try and back away with that extra bit of movement speed. Does get hit by the Dark Hunter ultimate. That's going to slow him down enough. Good snowball pickup from Mira. That buys him a couple of seconds, but Quinn is going to follow that ball. He is perfectly going to turn. Be able to hit him both. The Swashbuckle isn't enough, though. And Dyrachyo and Quinn are now in trouble. Caught by the coil. Laurel going to lock him down, and there's not much these supports can do to stop it. In fact, they're just going to feed right alongside the other two of Gaming Gladiators as Team Spirit in a 5-man move sweep over Gaming Gladiators, run them down underneath their towers, and even through the portal, Tofu will be denied that exit. Instead, he'll head back to the fountain after a triple kill for Yatoro.
And Yatoro straight back to the top lane, doesn't miss a beat. The downside of all that off lane going wrong for Gaimin is Ace didn't even have a bear during all that, so you cannot bring the numbers to that fight. Just an overextension on collapse that Yatoro was happy to join and get the big swarm turnaround kill. Of course, Laurel with a beautiful coil, just lock him in place. Let the Weaver do the damage here. This is very deep.
Yeah, this
is almost, it feels like a forced play. Yeah, forced play, if anything, right? And you know the snowball save is going to come out here. This is what I'm saying. You disjoint the missile, you disjoint some of the gyro damage. That turnaround is deadly. Treant's going to give you sustain to just push through a lot of this poke damage. You're also missing the support ults. Orta and Silencer are not too strong.
Got the first silence on him. If they can keep him in place, the dead shot moves him back in. They have to use the global, but it will get the job done. A huge kill streak going the way of Ace. His network just shot right back up as he got 587 gold for just himself off that kill.
I mean, we're 11 minutes in the game, and Yatoro already had a 6x streak. So Ace absolutely happy to pick that up. That's the power of the global versus the Weaver before he has any sort of dispel item, which looks like it's going to become very late in this game as Yatoro's opted for a Deso buildup. Another reason that kill was pretty valuable, right? You slow down the Deso, limit the charges you can get in these early exchanges. The slower it is, the worse it's going to be. This pace is very strong right now. Of course, Dyrachyo, we have not seen gyro too much this tournament, but the big upside for this hero is the stacking, right? It's not something we've seen Gaimin go back to a lot as the game's been very fast, but this triangle is getting stacked and is waiting for gyro to come and collect. Other Ancients are also doubled up right now. This is a lot of golden XP sitting in the bank for Gaimin if they can move Dyrachyo over there, start to clear through with the max flat cannon. something that Team Spirit might think about contesting depending on how fast they can push these towers down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in this game, it's funny, but I feel like the game plan is kind of swamped where Team Spirit want to be able to run over Gaming Gladiators, take these outer towers so they can disrupt that ancient farming. They're going to go straight to it. No hesitancy whatsoever. Immediate quote. What on the win, but they don't really have the strength to be able to bring it down just yet. Protected by all of Gaming Gladiators, who, again, they saw Team Spirit in the bottom lane show up as 5. They will do the same here in the mid lane. Quinn looks to find his mark, looks to see if he can drive right on through and straight to Maposhka. He'll find him here in the corner, clear out most of the trees, but Laurel's actually going to bounce back in here.
They're going to retake the fight.
Maposhka's going to stand and fight as best he can, but they can stop Ace immediately. Laurel trying to make his way out. Oh, the silence! Maybe he gets clipped again. He's dead! Couldn't jump to his orb in time. Yeah, they get Ace, but it does cost them quite a bit as Laurel was a big piece of the momentum for Team Spirit here.
Kovu coming up big. Calling is just going to be their biggest way to deal with Puck in these team fights. If you can land it, it's probably his dead Puck. You dead shot back into it to an extent.